Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be making strawberry shortcake cupcakes. I just began by dicing up my strawberries as finely as possible, and you'll notice that my knife posture is absolutely horrible. No, I do not intend to fix it until I slice my finger. Anyways, my mom came in and told me I was wasting half the strawberry by not including the tops. I ignored her. Anyways, I took 2 cups of AP flour, pouring that into my sifter, and then 3 teaspoons of baking powder, very important, not baking soda, and then a teaspoon of salt, and then just begin to stir that for some reason. It would be much easier to tap it through, but I guess I was worried it would not get mixed enough. I then later tap it to get the last bit out because I got lazy. Butter, slicing it as thinly as possible, and this would be very preferable if you had a pastry cutter, but I did not, so I just had to do it with a fork. But you want to make sure the butter is fully incorporated into your dries before you pour in any liquid. I take a half cup of sugar, pour that in, and it was at this point that I realized I did not have any milk. Sigh of exasperation. I then go to the grocery store to find milk. I promise my shoes are not this dirty. They just look gross on that floor. I get my milk. I promise I went through the store exactly this speed. I was in there for all of 30 seconds. Please do not make fun of the way I walk. It's because my ankles were screwed up as a kid and I walk with my feet out. I can't help it. Anyways, I then realized that I couldn't open the door with the milk in my hand, so I stopped recording. But even though I was pissed off about going to the store, I still buckled in the milk because it's important to do that or something. I unbuckle it, but then everything decided it hated me that day and the light in my car went out. I take that 1 cup of milk that I needed and I pour it in, because that's all I needed. I then just begin to mix it in. You want this to be lumpy. I'm not really sure why you want it to be lumpy, but it needs to be lumpy. I then go ahead and add in my strawberries, and you want to fold this in pretty gently because you don't want to cause the strawberries to bleed everywhere. I didn't know strawberries could bleed, but they can, and you don't want that. I personally probably would have added more strawberries to this if I were to make it again, but who knows? I then just go ahead and throw that into my muffin liners, and my phone decided to die about halfway through this, but it was okay. I was doing this very slowly anyways. After this, I just put it in the oven at 350, and I didn't even really time it. I just kind of kept an eye on it because I don't really like timers. But during that time, I decided I wanted to make whipped cream, which if you've never made it before, it's super easy. Just like take some heavy whipping cream and then some sugar, and then just mix that up with your whisk. I did it so quick right here, you'll see. That was so good. Just on impact, it became whipped cream. That was excellent. Good job. I then decided I wanted to make a strawberry sauce to go on it, but I was clearly having a horrible time with my immersion blender today. And so I just kept fighting it, but I eventually stopped recording and was able to get it to a nice thin liquid. But what I'm doing here is I'm just like blending up those strawberries and then adding some powdered sugar just so I can brush that on top of it for a bit of extra strawberry flavor. I then got out my finest dishware, brushed on my strawberry sauce. I then got out my whipped cream, but I should mention these had been out of the oven for all of 6 minutes maybe, so it immediately started melting. So it may not look pretty, but it tasted pretty good. So I guess that's all that matters. I take my little taste test. It looks so ugly right now, but it tasted fine.